All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's do this. So, review of implicit differentiation. So for the first part or first level, it says find dy dx in terms of x and y. So what are we going to do? We're going to take the derivative of both sides with respect to x, and we're going to get this dy dx by itself. So the first move is, let's take d dx on both sides. So we're going to take the derivative of both sides with respect to x. Now here, how do we take the derivative of y cubed? So this would be 3y squared, but then we have to add that dy dx because we're not taking the derivative with respect to y, we're taking it with respect to x. Okay? And let's do the next part. Here, what's the derivative of x cubed? It's just 3x squared, because here these two match. And what's the derivative of 1? It's just 0. Okay? Now we have a dy dx, and what does this mean to get it in terms of x and y? Get this dy dx by itself. So how do you get dy dx by itself? Let's just divide both sides by this 3y squared. And what are we left with? We're left with dy dx is equal to 3x squared over 3y squared. But that's also the same. You see, you could cancel these 3's here, so you just have x squared over y squared. So then you could just say dy dx is equal to x squared over y squared. And that's it. All right, let's look at the next one. And I guarantee you this always gives a lot of questions. But here, same idea. Let's take d dx on both sides. d dx on both sides. And what will happen? Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's do a little review, because I think this always confuses a lot of people. But let's take a look at this. Let's just write this down real quick. If you wanted to take the derivative of each of these with respect to x, what is the derivative of negative 4y cubed? Take your time and write it down, okay? Don't rush. What would it be? So it would be negative 12 y squared dy dx. Okay? What about this one? This would be negative 8y dy dx. Okay? What about this one? This would just be negative 4 dy dx. And what is the derivative of negative y? It's just negative dy dx. Okay? Because I feel like these two were very easy, but I remember you guys getting really stuck when you had to do these two. So have this in your notes, and it will be really nice for you to have, just so you kind of remember. Okay, so knowing this, try and do the next one. What is the derivative of negative 2y? Pause the video and try and go through the rhythm. It should just be negative 2 dy dx minus 2y dy dx minus 2x equals 0. Now, what do you want to do? You want to get this dy dx by itself. So here, the idea is before, you saw over here how we only had one dy dx. Here, we have two dy dx's. So the idea is get all the dy dx's on one side. And why do we want to get all the dy dx's on one side? Because we want to factor out a dy dx. So the idea is, notice, are all the dy dx's on one side? Yes, but now let's just move this over here. So we have negative 2 dy dx minus 2y dy dx equals positive 2x. We just moved this negative 2x to this side. Because what's the idea over here? We're going to factor out, like here, imagine if I said this. Instead of dy dx, I just had negative 2r minus 2yr. Okay? And what can you do? Notice you could factor out an r. So you have r times negative 2 minus 2y. And that's the idea here. What you're going to do is you're going to factor out this dy dx. So it should look like dy dx equals, I'm sorry, parentheses, negative 2 minus 2y equals 2x. That's how we went from here to here. We just factored out a dy dx. And then what can you do? We could divide both sides by negative 2 minus 2y, negative 2 minus 2y, because these cancel, and then the dy dx is by itself. So now we just have dy dx equals 2x over negative 2 minus 2y. And then bam, you're done. Okay, try and do this question by yourself, okay? And we'll review it. Or if you want, you could send it in a group chat or something. Try and do this question by yourself. Okay, let's look at the next part for the review. Here, now, what this is asking us to do is, let's find dy dx at a point. So how would you find dy dx at a point? So this would be, the idea is, let's get dy dx by itself. Okay, so here, let's do it. Let's take d dx on both sides. Now we have to do what? We have to take the derivative of y cubed. So what's the derivative of y cubed? This is going to be 3y squared plus dy dx. I'm sorry, my bad. 3y squared times dy dx. Okay, plus 6y dy dx. What's the derivative of negative x cubed? It's just negative 3x squared minus 3 equals, what's the derivative of y? It's just dy dx. Okay, now once you get to this point, what's the next move? Well, we talked about it, right? You want all the dy dx's on one side so you can factor it out. So notice here we have 3 dy dx's. Let's get all of them on one side. So the idea is, let's subtract a dy dx over here. We're going to bring this dy dx to this side. And what are we going to do with these two? We're going to add these two, plus 3x squared plus 3. We're going to add it to this side over here. So then how will it look like? It'll look like 3y squared dy dx plus 6y dy dx. Now we took this dy dx and we're gonna put it on this side, so it's minus dy dx equals, now we brought these two guys over here, equals plus 3x squared plus 3. Okay. Now what did we accomplish? All the dy dx's are on one side, so what is the next move? We're gonna factor out a dy dx. So then it'll become dy dx times 3y squared plus 6y minus 1 equals 3x squared plus 3. Okay? Because here, why is it minus 1? Because if you were to multiply this to this, it gives you that. You multiply this to this, it gives you that. You multiply this to the negative 1, dy dx times negative 1 is negative dy dx. And then now, what do? We just divide both sides by 3y squared plus 6y minus 1. So you should get dy dx is equal to 3x squared plus 3 over 3y squared plus 6y minus 1. And now once you have this, this is very good. But then the idea is we're going to plug in the point 3, 2. So we know that x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. So all we need to do is just plug in these two numbers And that's it. So then what will it look like? Let me finish it over here. Here it'll be 3 times, now what is the value of x? X is 3. So here we'll just have, let me put this like this. I guess that's a little bit better, right? My bad. I'm trying to figure what's the best angle. Okay, I guess this is better. So then here, it'll be 3 times 3 squared plus 3 over 3 times 2 squared plus 6 times 2 minus 1. So try and do this in your head. Right? Pause the video. Try and do it in your head. This is what? 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, 27. 27 plus 3 is 30. This is 4. 4 times 3, 12. Plus 12 is 24. Minus 1 is 23. So you just have 30 over 23. Man, that's it. Okay. Did I make it in 40 minutes? Probably. Try and do this one on your own. And I was going to do more with you guys, but I realized like I have the next lesson as well. The next lesson is level 2. It's a review. Like, how do you find dy dx for this one? Like, don't you remember this one? You have to use product rule to find the derivative of this. And there was another one where you found the second derivative. Let's just say we'll do this tomorrow. Okay? Enjoy your day. I'll make the delta math very light for today. All right, enjoy it.